all in the face.
Daymion,
Okay, how do you feel?
Sorry, yeah, there you go. Oh,
Hold Buchanan, Texas. How do you feel?
Feel pretty good. Excited to be here, in Tampa, Florida. Honored and blessed, that Elko picked me to be here today.
And how's the injury coming along?
It's going along good. I've been working with the training staff. We got the best training staff and doctors in the country at A&M. So, they've been doing a lot, with me. Joe has been working with me every day. So I've been doing pretty good.
Alex Miller at the Bryan College Station Eagle. If you don't mind sharing just kind of what was the nature of your injury and just kind of what has the recovery process looked like for you over the last couple months?
It wasn't as bad as I thought it was. The biggest question is like was I gonna be out for the season? But it wasn't as bad. I had a little fibula injury. But I've been working on it every day. Working with Joe, like I said, trying to get back. Just trying to get back as soon as I can.
Travis Brown with KBTX. In that moment when you're sitting on the field right after, what's going through your mind? What did you think happened? And as you got carted off the field, what were you thinking?
My biggest, the first thing I thought was am I gonna be out for the season? I looked around, as soon as I got hurt, I looked around, just see my mom, see my brother. They wasn't really too worried, so I just kind of, try to get myself together. But once I went to the doctor, he said that I wasn't gonna be out that long, so, I was kind of excited that, I can get back to working.
Did it feel like maybe it could have been a season-ending injury at the time?
See, my initial reaction was I thought it was gonna be a season-ending injury, but when I went to the doctor, he said that it wasn't gonna be season-ending, so that kind of helped me and kept me motivated.
Tyler Shaw with KBTX. So, when do you, I guess, anticipate being able to play again?
Soon. I just keep working every day. I'm gonna be back soon though.
When were you able to put some weight on that leg and just, be able to start, walking and getting toward that again?
I was able to put weight on it pretty soon. The recovery has been pretty on time, so it was soon.
Daymion, what did the Notre Dame game do for you? Get into that game and you make a difference, and then the rest of the season you're out there playing.
It really boosted my confidence. That Notre Dame game was like a wake up for me. I say that fall camp was like a wake up. Just really trying to change my mindset. Just how I came to practice. How I went in the weight room. How I just took the day. But that Notre Dame game really woke me up. Just all the plays that I made. Just from practice, the practice habits. All the practice habits that I did showed up in the game. So I carried that on during the season. So every day in practice, create that same habits and ultimately made a lot of plays.
Is there another linebacker, a young one this year, that could be the next Daymion Sanford that you've seen kind of emerge?
T.Y. for sure. He has a lot of potential. All those guys do, but T.Y. I see T.Y. He's been growing this offseason, and I see him get out there in the weight room.
Everything that you've been through this offseason, to be named the captain, just what's that mean to you? Obviously, stepping in some big shoes, leaving some guys that were here last year.
Oh, it means a lot. I want to say thank y'all again for voting me to the captain of the team, and, give me the opportunity, to lead this team and represent this team. I learned a lot from Tony York last year. He was a great leader. It's gonna be hard to replace that with, he has taught me a lot, just preparation of the games and how to lead the team, how to represent the team, how to be the standard. He was a standard last year. So he taught me a lot.
To that point, just, how would you describe your leadership style and how have you led throughout your recovery as well?
At the beginning, it was kind of lead by example. I kind of set the standard of what it looks like to be consistent and, working. But I've gradually, worked towards being more of a vocal leader, just by, pushing people in the weight room, pushing people on the field, things like that.
Was there a point where you really felt like you had found your voice?
Yes, during the spring, I kind of, rallied the troops in the huddles and all that, and just trying to motivate them and try to keep them consistent with everything during practice.
If you could pinpoint one area where A&M will be better to get over the hump and finish stronger, what area would that be?
Turnovers. That's our number one in our plan to win is turnovers. For I think we're 106 in the country turnovers. So I feel like on defense, if we can take the ball away, I feel like we'll be successful this year and on offense if we, not give away as many turnovers. I think we'd be
Yeah, and
successful.
takeaways, how do you improve getting interceptions?
Really just practice, practice habits, just catching the ball, doing the jugs in practice. That's just creating good habits.
Daymion, that Carter Carlos on for you. How difficult do you think it'll be to get back to your former self once you're back, and what will kind of go into maybe knocking off some of that rust you might have?
I think it's gonna be pretty difficult, but it's more of a mindset thing, that I've learned throughout this process. Just gotta celebrate the small wins every day. And just make yourself feel good. So I've just been celebrating the small wins, like being able to walk again, being able to get out the brace, being able to run, and stuff like that.
When did you start running?
Pretty soon. I ran like, I think it was 8 weeks in, 7 weeks in.
Okay.
Did you have one of those scooters? You riding
Yeah,
around on a
I
scooter?
had the scooter. I had the scooter at the beginning. That was kind of hard, but I had it for like 2 weeks. It wasn't really.
You talk about your mindset and how you've kind of been able to come over this. Was there ever a point where like you were just frustrated or down, and then what you used to kind of get out of that?
A lot of times. I think my freshman year was the biggest year that I was like frustrated at myself. But it's kind of like how it came, like how I approached the game. Preparation is key, I would say. Just preparation every day. Just watching the film, going to the weight room, getting extra work. Not like staying on your phone all night, like playing the video games, all that. I had to cut like some of that out, and then like the preparation I said, like during the games, playing in the SEC is hard. Got a lot of good teams at SEC, so like just preparing for like the next game is crucial. So I say my preparation.
Mark Passwaters with Aggie Huddle. As you knock the rust off, it looks like Coney, McHale, and Lockhart will be the big three in your absence. What have you seen from those guys, especially with Ray coming over from Tulsa?
Oh yeah, they've been working hard. They've been getting out there in the weight room, and OTAs has been pretty good. They've been on top of their stuff. Ray coming in, like a transfer guy, you really don't think like they were going to fit in, but he fit into Texas A&M. We opened him with open arms, and he's been doing pretty good.
Obviously, it's not an ideal situation, but have you been able to view the position in the game a little differently, being from the sideline and maybe looking from a different perspective?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the same. Just watching it from like sidelines or like practice is really kind of the same. Yeah.
Why have y'all lost 2 straight to Texas?
Say again?
Why have y'all lost the last 2 games against Texas in your mind?
I think, we like this year we're gonna focus on trying to be 1-0 against Missouri State. So I feel like we're gonna get to that later on.
After the Notre Dame game, when you came into the starting lineup, there weren't any linebackers in the SEC who were more productive than you. But now we're sitting here, and talking season, and you're still not getting a whole lot of attention. Is that kind of irritating?
It is, but I really don't listen to the buzz. I've been really like not highly recruited in high school. Coming into college, I wasn't really, the top name. So it's just, motivation for me. I like having the chip on my shoulder. It gets me going during the game. So I feel like if I still have that, I'm use that for the season.
How have you developed from that guy that was not highly recruited in high school to a guy that some say is A&M's best defensive player?
You just like the way I approach every day. I say just being consistent, like I said earlier. Just how I live, like my diet, preparation, like everyday preparation. Getting extra work.
Who helps you the most?
I said my mom.
Really?
Yeah.
How does she help you?
She's my mentor. She gave me a lot of advice. She's been there every step of the way. She's the one that was in my recruiting. Doing all the drives and stuff, talking to the coaches, and she knows more ball than most of the people up there. So yeah, I say my mom. Yeah.
What would you say Mike Elko's best quality is as a coach?
See, I say this a lot. I said it to my brother the other day. I think he knows how to read people. So like he's good at reading people. Like he knows what like certain players need, and like he knows how to talk to certain players. So I think that's really good. Good trait to have.
So how do you read you?
The funny thing is, like out of high school, I committed to him at Duke. So he's known me for a minute now, so he knows everything about me.
What's something that people that maybe don't get to spend day to day with Marcel maybe don't realize about him as someone who does?
He's a good person on and off the field. I really like Marcel. We just went on a trip to New York at the Next Fest and spent a lot of time with him. And, you know, we just joked around and stuff like that. And, yeah, he's a good person.
How is his maybe funny nature able to, you know, make connections and build some bonds?
Yeah, he's really good with talking with people. You know, he's opened up a lot. You know, I've been with him all 4 years here. So, you know, we've been just, you know, hanging out after, like, practices and stuff. So it's been good.
Who's the guy on the defense that people may not know now, but will know by the end of the season?
Angelo. I've seen Angelo. He's been making good strides this offseason. So I think Angelo.
What is it about him that he brings to the table that makes you feel that way?
He's just strong. I think today he just benched like 470 pounds. Yeah, he's gonna be, you know, a good upfront guy.
Damion, what was your reaction to the 5-year rule and potentially getting another season if you like it in 27?
Yeah, I really haven't even thought about that yet. But I'm gonna look into it and probably, you know, sit down with my mom and see everything about that 5-year rule.
You know, off the field, what's the last year been for you? Because I remember we talked to you last year, and it was new to the media, didn't really speak to us a lot, and now you're a captain at SEC Media Days. Just how has it been for you to take all this in stride?
Oh, it's been good. You know, the more reps I get at it, the better I'm gonna be. You know, like you said, I didn't get a lot of media, so it's kind of all new to me. But the more reps I get, it's gonna be good.
Elko had told us in the spring that you guys have a chance to double down on last year's success. I'm just curious, as you've gone through the offseason, what some of the things you've seen gives you confidence that you guys can actually do that?
I just say we're hungry. I think everybody on the team has a chip on their shoulder. We all got something to prove. Like I said earlier on Texas interview, we haven't won any meaningful games. I think everybody on the team understands that, and I think our fans really deserve a national championship. So I think that will ultimately drive us this year.
What'd you do after the Miami game, and just kind of what was the feeling going home after that game?
I just sat back, watched the game back, and just try to see what mistakes we made. And yeah, I just try to see what mistakes we made and try to clean it up.
Were you able to watch any more of the playoff after that?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it was pretty good.
Anything else? That's all we got.